Hello, good morning. So yesterday we stayed at Louisville, and just today morning checked out and driving towards Case Western, and thought, okay, we'll continue. Yesterday we stopped about her setbacks and and also balancing between the STEM and humanities. So Oviya, you want to go ahead and discuss related to those?
Yes. So a few setbacks I had were science fair and science Olympiad. So science fair I've been doing since third grade. I've competed in my school science fair, and I went on to the regional and state science fair all through from elementary school and middle school. And in ninth grade, I created this project. I had this new idea. I created this experiment to test my hypothesis, and I presented my project at the regional and state science fair, but I unfortunately didn't place. Even though I was proud of this project, this sort of failure disappointed me in science fair, but this was also the turning point, and I realized maybe I should try out different activities other than the typical science fair and other science related activities. So, and then Science Olympiad was another thing. I was heavily involved in Science Olympiad in middle school. And I joined Science Olympiad in high school as well. But even though it's a great club, to explore the different areas of science, I just knew this was maybe I could still try out different activities. So what I did was I changed my strategy a little bit. I wanted to balance out humanities-based activities and STEM-based activities. So for humanities, I, did Global Minds like I explained in the previous question. I internationally volunteered, so I volunteered with nurses in tribal areas of India. And then my other activity, humanities activity was Invent to Prevent. So this was a campaign where I led a team of 7 other people, and we created this campaign, and we went across different schools across the city and hosted a little project that we created. And then I still kept in touch with research, so I didn't let that go. So I worked with Dr. Hamilton, like I said in the previous question, and we have a big biotech company called Hudson Alpha. And all through high school, I was involved in either a camp, a program, or an internship through that Hudson Alpha. And that's where I still got more experience with hands-on research in the lab. And volunteering also was a very important thing in my application. So for volunteering, I joined something called the Youth Leadership Council. And through that, I was able to gain many opportunities to help out with nonprofit organizations in my city.
And also, like on your STEM side, you've been involved on the HOSA, which you like to speak about.
HOSA was another thing that I used to explore specifically medicine. So I was involved in medical terminology, which helped me get accustomed to the usual jargon that was used in the medical field. And then I tried out the EMT event in my last year because I was a certified EMT, and I thought I could use whatever I learned in those classes to help me with the event. And so that would help me actually get experience in the specific medical field that I was interested in.
That's right. So it was a perfect balance between STEM activities through HOSA, through her research with the professor, and then Hudson Alpha, all 4 years of program, and with your humanities of various activities like volunteering, international volunteering, and your Invent to Prevent. The Invent to Prevent in specific was sponsored by the DHS. And I think they did place like 8th in the nation, and they've been given some credit in Washington, about their project, and also there was a little presentation about their project, etc. It was a great experience, right, Oviya? So, and in addition to that, Global Mind, which we already discussed in detail already. So this is how her setback in STEM, I think she decided she need to change a little bit and try to balance both, which really worked out. And the next topic, which a lot of parents or kids come back and ask, what kind of leadership role you've been involved and given you a great exposure, Oviya? So do you want to speak about your probably the top two, maybe?
Yeah. So I have in most of the clubs that I was involved in, I played a role in each of those clubs, but there's two I'd like to point out. So one is Student Government Association, SGA. I started at student council in 8th grade. And I held a officer role there. And then in high school, I ran for secretary for my 9th and 10th grade. And before 11th grade, I knew I wanted to be a little bit more involved in SGA because I liked planning events for the school. I liked working with the other officers to host these types of events and, come up with these events. So I decided to run for president for my junior and senior year. So I was junior and senior class president. And so those were my leadership roles for SGA. And then for HOSA, like I mentioned before, I competed in the leadership conferences, but I also held a vice president position in both my junior and senior year. So I could, help, the rising 9th and 10th graders help choose out their events and give them tips on how to study for their events.
Right. So yeah, I mean, I think the major two were that in addition to the chess president and couple of global mind and other things, which we already discussed about, I think some of these leadership roles, especially the student government, given you a lot of courage and the direction to take and initiate a lot of other the chapters like global mind and when to prevent, which I personally observed as a parent. I saw like the student government gave her a big push. That is how I felt personally. So that covered all your stats, your extracurricular activities, and also your leadership roles, right, Oviya? So next, let's get into any specific awards. Okay, Oviya, do you want to go ahead with your award section? How you planned it out and what all you listed?
So before I get into the awards, one thing I need to say is that there's only in your common application, you can only put in 10 activities and 5 awards. So saying this, if I were to go back to 9th grade, and I would have known this, I would have focused on those set of activities that I put more time toward those set of activities that I really, really like to do. And there would be a few activities I would have avoided because there's not that much space to put in those 10 activities. You don't have to go do so many because you have to shortlist it to a few. And so that's what I would have done. And so then going into my awards, my STEM awards, I put in HOSA. So I won a few state awards each year, and I qualified for the International Leadership Conference. And then I also did the Bi-Olympiad, and I got the Certificate of Merit, which is the top 30%. And then for my other 3 spots, since I had competed in chess tournaments for so long, I had won a few city chess championship, and I won a few state awards. And then there's a program called Distinguished Young Woman. It's for girls entering their senior year, and I was the county winner, and I qualified for the state, and I was a top 8 finalist for my state. And my last award for dance, I competed in this program called PTA Reflections, and I was nationally awarded in the dance choreography section. So I included that as my 5th award.
So yeah, I mean, I think I completely agree with you. I know like all the activities what you did, you did it with your full love, and you really wanted to do. But in addition to the activities what we discussed, there were few activities which you tried to involve. Known that that's what you mean to say, that known that some of those miscellaneous activities you would have just avoided. Award wise, yes, man, as she mentioned, try to spread out between your STEM awards. Just don't think like I'm getting a lot of STEM awards, that is what I want to list. No, I personally speaking, I don't think just listing all your STEM related awards, even if it is nationally, is gonna give you a huge advantage. But I don't know, as I mentioned, we really don't know the formula. All I can say is you need to show a good mix of various awards if you have it. So that ends all Oviya's resume or profile covered altogether. There are two more parts we like to cover. One is the application process for the BSMD, and then we'll go towards some interview area selection and how she chose which college she likes to go into, right? I mean, those are the two important part. So now we'll get into this application process. Do you want to talk about your personal experience of how many you like people to apply, and any of those things? Go ahead and discuss.
So I applied to 6 BSMDs and then 6 regular colleges that did not have that program. And then last minute I added on 2 more just to apply. But the thing is, after going through the whole application process, writing so many essays and supplements, I'd recommend, if you're applying to BSMDs, not to go for more than 10 colleges. So I'd say apply for 6 BSMDs like I did. That was a good amount. And then 4 more colleges that you really like or would all go to if you got into those colleges. And the reason I say this is because there are a lot of essays to write, and especially for BSMDs, you're doing the regular application, you're writing the essays that any potential undergrad would do, and then you're gonna have to write more essays on top of that for the BSMD program specifically. And you can't exactly copy and paste from other application essays you did for BSMD programs, because each BSMD is unique and you need to tailor it to that BSMD. So that's why it became overwhelming at one point. So that's why I would say limit your list down to 10. So that's what I would recommend.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. As I mentioned from the beginning, we had a big list, and in the beginning of fall, we shortlisted to 6 BSMDs, and definitely my top was UAB, but her top list was something different, and we went with that whole BSMD list first. And also she chose like 6 best pre-med schools in her list, and towards the end December like timeline, she said she had time and she went ahead and tried to do 2 more. Like she said, do not go more than 10 maximum, and BSMDs, I would say stick with between 5 to 6, not more than that. That will be my personal suggestion too. And also, since it's in the application process, there are there any what is it called, early decision BSMD programs? This question comes a lot. Yes, there is one, which is Brown, right? But remember that any BSMD programs, first it goes through your undergrad selection process by the counselor, and if you get into the undergrad process, then it is moved to the medical, the MD side of the application process. So most of the application gets shortlisted first and then moves to the next stage. Likewise, when you do the Brown early decision, right, Oviya? If you get into the Brown's undergrad program, but it moves on to the BSMD and you got denied, remember that still you are under contract. The early decision, it's still valid for your 4-year undergrad program. So you're stuck. If your goal is just BSMD program,
Speed check reported ahead on
I would suggest not to do any early decisions. Right, Oviya? You agree to that? Yes. So the next we'll discuss about the Common App application process. For the sake of this discussion, since we're focusing more on the BSMD, we'll just focus more on the BSMD scenarios.
So there's two ways that BSMD applications work, and it depends on the college. I found that some colleges, if you're interested in the BSMD program, you can say that you're interested on their application, and you can write the essays and submit it along with the undergrad supplements as well. So it's all in one application. Other colleges, what they do is you have to apply and get accepted to their college first, and then they'll send you the BSMD application, which you fill out and then send it separately on a separate date. So those are the two ways that BSMD applications and turning in your essays work.
Yes, man. Mostly I've seen the colleges like UAB and UPIT and Baylor, from what we have applied for, made you to first apply for their undergrad program, get accepted, and then they follow up with the BSMD supplement questions. But colleges like Case Western, Brown, all in one. When you're applying on the Common App, when you say interested, you just keep moving on. I'm not sure everything she did, so I'm just going along with her discussion. So these are the just Common App questions for the BSMD. And so the Common App essay is one single essay which goes to all the colleges, right, Oviya? And when do you think it is the right time for seniors to start putting a draft and start writing the essay? Because most of them say the question comes, the Common App gets opened up August first week, if I'm not mistaken.
If you were to ask me when the right time to start your Common App essay, it would be over the summer. So like you would start thinking of ideas, brainstorming ideas, and then start writing a draft. And you're most likely going to write multiple drafts, have multiple ideas. So the summer is a great time to get as many essays, different type of essays out as possible for your Common App. And also the essay prompts are usually the same from year to year. So don't wait till they're released for the next year to start. So summer is a great time to have a strong draft ready, and then as August and September, you can start straightening it out and cleaning it.
What the Common App essay should look like, Oviya?
So for the Common App essay, you should focus on you want to tell the admissions committee about you. Anything unique about you, any unique experiences, or what you're passionate about. So don't focus on achievements or extracurriculars unless it was very significant to you, because there are other areas where you're going to put what your achievements are, what your extracurriculars are. And also, it's not a time to tell why you like medicine so much, because the BSMD essays is specifically for that. So this Common App essay is just in general what is special about you and what are you passionate about.
Just to add to that, what makes you unique from rest of others, and build your story based on that. Try to tell a story and try to have a good flow and have some connectivity. If you're trying to relate couple of activities of yours to something what you learned, try to be picking up one or two. Do not, I would say, do not touch base like 100 things or 10 things. Just pick one or two and try to drive the story. That would be my idea based on what I read, right? So that was a very short, description about the common essay, which is applicable to everyone. It's not just the BSMD, so we do not have to spend more time on it. Now going into the supplement essays of all the BSMDs, I know each and every college have varies from 2 supplement essays, and we have seen even 7 to 8 in Brown, right? And there are word limits and there are letter limits and all those kind of different limits. So can you speak how anyone who are applying to various college can attack those kind of supplement essays?
So every BSMD essay supplements at least one will be a Y medicine one. So it's important to prepare that one, which will be common to all the colleges that you're going to apply to that has the BSMD program. For your Y medicine one, that's your story and what made you so certain to choose this career path. So it should be unique to you. If there's any experience you had in the medical system, either personal or you gotten through shadowing or volunteering, you can write about that. But it's basically, why did you choose this career path over the others? What inspired you, basically? And then after that, it's basically each college has its own unique essay prompts. Some may ask why their college's BSMD program. So for that one, before you write that one, a lot of research work is needed. So go into the college and their medical school website as well and see what's so special about their medical school, because if you get into their program, you are going to their medical school most likely. So what makes their medical school so special, and why do you think it's a right fit for you? And those are the type of things that would go in that type of essay.
That is correct. In addition to this common essays and the supplements, right, I know some of these universities, they ask to submit some supplement videos, correct? Example, do you have which BSMD program asks for a supplement videos?
It's for the regular application.
Oh, it is for the regular, not for the BSMD specific, right? Even the Case Western asks for your supplement videos? No?
That's like if you want some sort of like a dance video.
Dance videos. But yeah, that is where I'm going with. Like if you're applying to a college, doesn't matter if it is BSMD or regular, if they ask for a supplement video, if you have a very good art piece or very good dance videos or something related to the sports, which definitely I would say, upload it. I know it is an optional, but I would strongly recommend you guys, even if it is a simple thing, just upload it. It doesn't have to be a fresh piece. In past, you have done some great achievement and, that you think can give you an advantage over, please submit it. But I think Oviya, we did the same, right? I mean, we did submit the ones which we really liked it. And yeah, that worked out. But one thing in general we didn't speak about is sports. I know, but if you are doing a school sports activity or even the community sports, try to project it. I'm telling you, try to project it. It is a great for BSMD. I know there are universities, they love to see your sports activities, right? I mean, which is big. Since we didn't cover it, I just want to mention it. If your essays or supplement essays or everything, you want to go around your sports, please do it. It is unique. It's unique about you. Do not hesitate. Okay, let's get into this review and rewriting of all these essays and supplements. Okay, what kind of approach you took, and what do you think it's a better way of doing this?
When I wrote my the first draft of my Common App essay, I took it to two of my friends. to see who had gone through the college application process a year or 2 years ago. And they gave me good suggestions, and I took that and I wrote a new draft. And eventually, after I would write a new college essay for a new prompt, I would take it to my dad, and he would put in a few suggestions. I would go back, I would rewrite it based on his revisions, and then I would go back again, and he would give me a second round of revisions, and then I would re-edit it. And
I think to add to that, I try to review in a third person perspective, and if I have any, it's constructive criticism, and then she corrects it. I know there are a lot of people outside to hire, and they do big consultancy business, and we are not against it, and I know for some people it works out, but we didn't take that approach. She's in Harvard, and somehow we found out she's ready to help. Her name is Meaghan. If she is okay, I'm gonna put her website also down in the description link below. She is just 1 year senior to Oviya. She was in her first year or second year, and she was a very great help in the sense, when we had a third draft, on all the documents and supplements, she used to review and give her correction, the formats and the English constructions, and if any grammar or spelling, any mistakes, she used to give further feedback, which really helped. Actually, we didn't go with all the supplements because it's too many. Whatever we really needed, right, that's what we approached to her. From parent perspective, I just want to give a couple of feedbacks related to the essay review. So I know there are many kids, I don't think they allow their parents to have a look into their essays and supplement essays. But in my case, she was okay. So that helped me. The reason, if there are friends, how critical your friends can be, it all depends. I'm not expert. I'm not really an expert, but I read those essays like a third person, like a layman, right? And I want to see the story was convincing me. The story was telling me something. Can I connect it? And I was completely erased. It's not my daughter. It is, I'm reading someone's for application, and I know what she's trying to say. That in that approach, I read and I added a comment, and when she comes back, sometimes mad, she comes back and asks me, why did you comment? What did you comment? Then, it's kind of constructive. So then I told, I didn't understand this part. I didn't understand this part. What do you mean by this? That helped actually. In fact, it was a very heated argument sometimes between father and daughter, but, sometimes it helped her to rethink. So now, you submitted your application to various PSMD colleges, and now you're waiting for the next round, right? Oh yeah. Every college, the next round is very different, right? So, example, if you do Brown doesn't have an interview round, right? They get some thousands of applications. They're gonna shortlist, and I remember in 2025 they selected between 60 to 70 people into the BSMD program. So they do not have a second round. But if colleges universities like Case Western, University of Rochester, UAB, they had a second round of interviews. And Baylor, in fact, they went beyond it. The second round is they called 2 sets of 100 people, and they have some kind of a case presentation, right? And with the case presentation, they select few more people for an interview. So it's kind of a different approach. Yeah. Can you, in general, in an interview, BSMD interviews, can you say how you approached and what kind of questions or sessions they should be prepared? Like in general, let's not pick any college or any kind of things. In general, you know.
For the interviews, I found there to be like 3 different ways to interview someone. So one is MMI interviews, which is like your ethical questions, ethical healthcare based questions. Then you have like regular group discussions where the proctor will just give you a random topic or question to discuss, and then there will be like a group of 4 to 7 people, and you just have a regular conversation with all of them. And then there's the traditional one-on-one interview where they'll ask you, questions, and you'll just respond to them as in like a regular interview. For the MMI interview, I would prepare there are a lot of questions online, a lot of example questions online. I would practice just walking through them. Also, another helpful tip would be to have a certain format when you answer this type of question. So regardless of what type of situation or scenario you get, you can answer it because sometimes there'll be a time limit of how many, like it'll be like a minute or 2 you have to think of your response. So that's why having a certain format on how you respond to these questions would help you, so you have an organized way of thinking. And then for the group discussions, I think school has helped you prepare for this because that's what you do every time in every class. You have a group discussion with your classmates. So just make sure to, when you respond to the question, make sure you're adding something to the conversation, and then also building off of other people's responses. That's what people want to see, that you are able to take other people's idea and add to that, and then give credit where it's due. If someone else said something, then say that's a good point, and then keep the conversation going. And then for traditional interviews, it's important to have a few questions, like a few responses to like the most common questions. So why medicine might be asked again, or maybe what are some weaknesses or strengths that you have, these basic interview questions. And then sometimes like what's one of your favorite extracurricular activities, so stuff like that, basic questions that you should prepare for.
Yeah, fantastic. So this is a general approach for all the interviews. We didn't pick up a college or how the interviews are done to her. I know Oviya went around 4 BSMD program interview to the next levels and interviews. So we do not want to disclose each colleges how the interviews are done. And another thing is how we prepared, right? Like one BSMD programs, I know she approached her friends, correct, Oviya? So you had your friends, and even though they don't provide you all the questions or anything, they at least say some kind of feedback how you can prepare, kind of a general, discuss with your friends, and they might provide you some feedback, even though it won't be the same questions, but some approach. We never had a mock interview, so I don't want her to go and struggle. So I did some research and I found the application architect, right? So I don't know, you remember in the beginning of this conversation, I mentioned where I found all the list of BSMD programs, darlings. So I approached her, and I know she prepares people, but we didn't have a time. So what I really requested her is to give one mock interview, just in general, not specific to university. I just requested her for one mock interview. So she kind of did a great job. She did a 1 hour, right? 1 hour of mock interview with Oviya. And that kind of helped actually, because she knows what kind of questions are coming in, and we don't know who's darling is. So it's kind of assumption she's an interviewer. So that kind of helped. So this is the approach we took for interviews. Whatever it works personally for you all. So we have almost completed all the contents. It came into my mind. Hopefully we put that in a proper order. I'm not sure if I missed out anything. Oviya, if you think if you missed out, just let me know. but at the end, we want to cover one or two topics to summarize.
Use the right lane to take the
Oh yeah, from the set of BSMD programs you got into, why did you choose Case Western? And is there any specific reason? And you can go in detail or in short, however you like.
I chose Case Western because I wanted to travel and explore a new area. So this is an out-of-state college for me. So I wanted to see how a new state looks like. I wanted to, how would it feel like living by myself in a new state and just see a new area, basically. And also Case Western, it's attached to the Cleveland Clinic, which is the top hospital, or the number 2 hospital in the country, and so it provides a great number of resources for shadowing physicians, for volunteering, clinical, all that clinical stuff. And then it also has 2 more hospitals surrounding the campus, so it's completely surrounded with so much opportunities for healthcare related stuff. And then Case Western prepares pre-meds and pre-meds really well for the MCAT and for medical school. It also has a great nursing program as well. So in the STEM area, it's very strong. And then the medical school ranking, it's very high, and its residency matches that I saw were very appealing to me. So that's why I chose Case Western.
It's reasonable. So yeah, I mean, even I was a little hesitant then allowing her to go from the in-state school, which is also a great school. But I went to the admitted student program. It's a week-long program they had, and it was really a great week. They are very well organized, Case Western. Everything they do, the 3 days event was like so structured. They took us over A to Z, from the student life to their the opportunities available, to various majors, and too many things actually. So that particular week convinced me really well that it is the kind of school I would like for my daughter to have. And that made us all convinced that we'll decide to go on a Case Western journey for next 8 years. So that's the decision now. Oviya, is there any last couple of words from you related to this program, to all those young kids out there who likes to apply to this?
So in the BSMD program, if you're certain about the medical path and you know it's right for you and you can't see yourself doing anything else, then I would strongly recommend you applying to these. Even though the number of seats available for each college for these programs are low and it is said to be competitive, don't let that lead to discouragement if you have one small faulty error in your application. Just be you in the application. Just present yourself in the best light through those applications, and if you're truly a great fit for that program, you will get chosen. So just give it your best shot, and anything's possible, and don't count yourself out.
So I have just 1 hour before I reach Case Western. So I like to finish this conversation. It was a great, I'm not sure how much it is useful to others and how good this discussion was. If there are any errors, if there is any mistakes, and we didn't say things in a right way, I really apologize for that. It's just meant for a general chat to kill our 10 hours journey. Hope it'll help at least one into the 2026 application cycle. Then it's it matters a lot for us. Anyway, so as a parent, how much you can support? So I know there are kids who really they do it on their own, right? It's okay. the parents, they do not want parents to get involved at all, which is okay. That's it's kids to kid, right? And it varies. In my case, my kid was okay for me to involve, and it's great. I'm blessed. She listens, and also she tries to follow through, and also she fights back when it is required. Say it's not necessary. She is strong. She knows what she wanted. So in that way, she allows me where I'm allowed to. But they do need the help. Too many essays and too many things to track. So sometimes as a parent, you there on their side to follow through, remind them, and if they wanted to review, yeah, man, it is go ahead and review. Other than you, nobody can be so critical of them, right? And so you can be encourage them, say things when they are wrong, say it directly. There's nothing wrong to it, and it helps them. It helps them in one or other way. We will know the process. And also, I had a great one, almost like 4 years, and last 1 year was very critical. And we really worked together very well. And if you have any questions, I assume in my YouTube channel there is a email address. You can approach me, or put a comments below. I can answer your questions. Please don't be very critical about any of our discussion here. I'm going to repeat that. Anyway, thank you so much for this opportunity. Hope this helps someone out there. That's all we care. Okay. See you. Bye.